Bricks. You spent last month tracking down the bounty of one Paul Goodman, a rabble-rouser and agitator for miners' rights. Goodman had gone to ground in the Coleridge district, a giant slag heap of a town, riddled with bottomless mine shafts and dirty drinking holes. The close-knit community of miners proved impossible to infiltrate, so it is a testament to your skill as a hound that you tracked Goodman to a clandestine miners' co-op. You and your bounty hunter pal kidnapped Goodman and returned him to the noble Coleridge Mining Enterprises Security Department for processing. Your bounty hunter pal...
What's his name? Do we know?
It'd be Odrian.
Odrian.
Sounds like a bad Rocky movie.
Odrian.
Odrian seems to have been affected by your timing, Coleridge, and wants nothing more to do with the miners' politics. You, however, have a plan to collect on Goodman's second-in-command, Alexandra Colenta. You have a hunch they were lovers, and, as Paul Goodman is to be hung today, you suspect Alexandra will take this last chance to see him. As a firebrand in her own right, the noble Coleridge Mining Enterprise has identified her as a threat to law and order and put a bounty of 8 gold marks on her head. From the mugshot on the wanted bill, you see she is a young lady with a pinched look on her face, scowling back at the photographer. You fold the bounty bill into a neat square and slip it into a waterproof wallet. To reduce the chance of any mob uprising, Goodman's hanging has been hurriedly arranged in a neighbouring district, the Night Market. The Night Market district is dominated by commerce, from the sprawling bazaars of exotic goods to the back alley suppliers of, well, anything you can imagine, really. All under the shadow of one of the wonders of the industrial world, the Gaddock Railway Station, a Gothic cathedral to transport, and the main atrium pumping Leviathan blood across the nation. The citizenry are a cosmopolitan mix with nouveau riche pretensions, all likely to enjoy an oix hanging if it quashes revolutionary elements in rival districts. The Night Market is not your manor, so you approach a major gang boss, Marlowe, and for an introductory fee, he gives you the address of a small outfit known as the Banshees. You arrange to meet Henry and Esri in their little shop down a dingy back alley that smells like a trash man's arsehole. Some effort has been made to make the shop window display as uninviting as possible. A few faded photographs and anonymous brown paper packages discourage customers. Within the gloomorous interior, amid well-thumbed collections of risque etchings, sits Henry and Esri.
So Henry is a middle-aged man. He wears a tricorn hat, a long jacket that hangs just above his knees. It was in fashion about 35 years ago, but now it's got, rather than golden buttons, it's got odd buttons. The golden braid is faded and frayed. I wear newer style shoes. They're only about sort of like 15 years out of date. Also sport a nice long tish-tash. What you know about me is I'm crude of tongue, crude of way, but likes the game of intrigue and likes seducing good-looking gals and their many petticoats into the emporium for a good etching.
So I don't know. I didn't really think about this bit. I reckon so. He's a bounty hunter with a military kind of background. So he's kind of been brought up fairly straight, fairly well turned out. Maybe sort of quite a neat tash. It's kind of geeky, sort of geeky kind of murderer. You know what I mean? Like a bit tall, big, kind of typical white racist idiot. I think he thinks he's white. He gets really fucking loose at the weekend, mainly sort of uppers and downers and shit. But he doesn't do anything on the job, so he's a bit twitchy and paranoid. He's got all the geeky stuff. He's thought about it when he's wasted. He's got like the right kind of bandolier, and he's got like the right kind of shoes and things. And like he means business, but I think he thinks he's better than he is. He's got all the shit, but he's quite imposing. He's a big bloke, and like you'd listen to him.
What do you like, Esri?
I'm a really tall, really skinny, acne burnt ginger that always drinks whiskey. I escaped the circus far too young. They wouldn't have me back, but whiskey always has me back. It's great, and I'll always have whiskey back. Doesn't have to be paid for. Mine. In fact, it's better when it ain't. I like getting into trouble. But more importantly, I like getting into trouble in someone else's name or getting someone else into trouble.
Well, this bounty hunter looks like trouble. He glances around the dirty shelves stacked with a pornucopia.
Oh, there's a lot of porn, is there?
Yeah, it's quite. When you come in, there's a filing system, like a few tables of pictures,
Yeah.
and they're all of like ladies, scantily clad ladies, and small little desk where, as you come in, Henry kind of like appears.
Okay. So obviously, I'm going to be looking for some pornography for the weekend when I'm not working.
Of course you
Come to the
are.
right place.
Of course. Who isn't? Discerning gentleman like yourself.
Yeah, obviously, but I might get it like when we finished. Otherwise, I'm carrying it about. But do you deliver?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I'll tell you what. Well, I don't know. A grab bag. Give me like. Have I got to pay for this? Or I'll take it out.
Worry, we'll sort that later.
Yeah. Pretty vanilla though, right? Nothing too crazy.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, the stuff at the front is all pretty vanilla. You have to ask for the good stuff.
Yeah, the stuff out the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, we'll come back to that. Obviously, like I've stiffened a bit, and I'm pleased my nostrils don't work.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So, do these cats know the score yet? So I'll ask them, like, you guys up for a caper? I'm looking for this. I'm looking for this lass, Alexandra Kolotaj. She's a mate of this guy who's going to get hung this week. And there's 8 coins in it. I heard you guys were the boys.
We're the boys for coins.
Yeah, boys for coins.
We are indeed.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys are down with it. All right, fine. So my mate Odrian.
Yeah.
So I want a bit of background from him on like who this guy is and where he came from and why this lass is wanted and stuff. Because maybe there's a bigger caper behind why she's worth a bit.
They're undesirable revolutionary elements.
Probably poor then.
Yeah.
Is it a public
Right.
execution? Yeah.
Yes, it's public. It's going to be a right old affair.
Yeah.
To get some crisps and go down there.
It's going to be a proper dangler, I reckon.
I'll bring a drink.
You do that.
Have you got a picture of this, Alexandria?
Yeah, I do actually. Look, she's all pinched and angry looking. She's only a young'un.
Yeah, he's showing you the crisp, newly printed picture of this Alexandria.
Do we recognise her at all?
No.
Do we recognise the artist's work? Who's done it?
Possibly. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Don't ask me to invent another name because you know how bad I am at inventing names.
Yeah.
So don't
Right.
deliberately lead me down those alleys because you'll know you'll get like Banksy or something like that.
All right. What's the name of the place where public executions takes place?
It's not common to get them in the night market. It's on the park that's by the canal on the west side.
Is she wanted dead or alive, this lass?
She's wanted for questioning,
All right.
but as there are ghosts, well,
Oh, yeah.
so that usually means alive, preferable. But
Yeah.
as there are ghosts, the problem with ghosts are they'll often people don't generally like being murdered or killed, so they're often quite angry when they
Give up the goods.
when they rematerialize, and they can often be driven insane just by the process of being killed. So
So we should probably go scope this place out, see how many exits it's got before we spook her and she fucking does one as well. Like maybe scope the area out first.
Well,
Okay.
so it's going to be at the at this park, and we can see that she's a scanty little gal. Does she look comely?
Nah, she's pinched, mate.
yes,
Yeah.
they're pinched. She looks a bit like too much trouble, more trouble than she's worth. You know what I mean? From the etching.
So she's the sort of girl that's good on a postcard, right?
Yeah, okay.
More-
Make some more money that way, yeah.
That's a great idea. We can make some more magazines as well.
Do you want to go to the park then?
Hanged wives.
Yeah, let's go
Right.
to the park.
You make your way to the municipal park. An elevated bandstand lies at one end of the park, where a brass band plays to the gathering crowd. A newly constructed A-frame erected next to it stands some 15 foot high. Bluecoats police on stilts, looking like long-legged herons, blunderbusses at the ready for riot control. The crowd is a shifting continent of peoples. Urchins climb landmarks like carny acrobats for better views of the stage, competing with truant students who claim purchase on the bronze park statues. Ghoulish thanatomatic thrill-seekers crowd around the gallows. Clerks commune the compact crowd while curious cutters chew cheroots. Hawkers of every vice cry to whisperers. Fire eaters, flaming breath, highlight Eruvian spies in the shadow and blades in the dark. Phonomatic hunchbacked packed rat catchers supply greasy burgers to sleazy burgermeisters. Lurkers loiter as lookouts, while pickpockets find rich pickings in the press of people. Tidemarked sailors like goods off Leviathan whalers. Mixed with merchants, servants, masters, jailers. High tier, low tier, no tier. In short, all the scum and froth of Duskboy humanity have come to witness this singular death in the dark duel of Akaros. What's your move?
I think like hunt's got to be good. That's when you found them in it. So surveying's good. Is there any high ground anywhere, anything like that?
Yeah, so around this park are some nice houses that are fronting onto it. But like everywhere, like this whole city is super cramped. So there's always some scaffolding that you can get a hold of and climb up on. Within the park itself, some large statues of, heroes from bygone days. There's quite a large one of the deck of a ship with a famous captain calling his men forward to attack the Leviathans, which are the giant beasts where you get your power from. So this is like a Victorian era style, like 1870s, 1860s kind of level of technology. But the actual technology itself is drawn from the blood of these giant beasts. That's where you kind of condense the electricity from. No one actually has invented electricity as such.
So is there any binoculars or anything, or any kind of sort of a spyglass? I reckon you should get up, get some vantage point, looking into because the crowd are all going to be looking at the hanging, so you want to be able to recognise their face. So you want to get sort of behind where the hanging is, or somewhere around there, somewhere high, and have a scout about. And then maybe if I can somehow communicate, if I do see to you guys on the ground as to sort of whereabouts.
Bit of groundwork around here to see who's turned out and why, then perhaps.
Okay.
Yeah. So use a bit of consort, perhaps, to glean information.
Go and chat to these guys for a bit then. The knobs and the ruffians and shit, and see what they got to say.
Do you need to have a point in the consort skill to help with consorting?
No, but you have to be able to tell me how you are helping. Do you know what I mean?
I'm drinking my whiskey, bumping into potential people that they want to talk to, making myself a nuisance so they can chase me away and make friends with these guys.
Okay.
And I can drink.
She's with this gang that she's with rabble rousers and stuff. She's with some political dissidents. We're going to find out who they are and stuff.
That's hopefully what we might find out here and now.
Yeah.
That's the general idea in it of this bit of research.
Yeah.
I'll lurch behind you and let you do the talking, because I'm just a bit fucking. I don't think I'm very sociable. I think I'm a bit on the spectrum. I'll just be fucking like jiggling around behind you.
On the spectrum.
Righto.
All right,
Okay,
Henry.
well,
It doesn't look like you get any help from these guys. One of them's too drunk to help, and the other one's like. Are you getting extra die, or?
Yeah, bit of stress on there for.
That's 2 stress to get that extra die.
Is it 2 stress for?
If you're doing it yourself, it's 2. If someone's helping, it's 1.
All right. Okay.
Well, hang on. I can survey and I can see if there's anyone that looks kind of roguish, and see if we can narrow down our chances of finding the right person.
Okay. So, in that way, you get a stress because you're kind of hunting the crowd, looking for groups that you think might be connected. and Henry gets the extra dice. So he doesn't have to pay 2 stress. You have to pay 1 stress. Got it?
So maybe I
Yeah,
could
all
help.
right.
That a good idea.
No, you
With,
can only do that once. So you can't get... Otherwise, if there was a gang of 6 of you, you'd all do that and you'd have like 20 dice to go, hey.
I got 2, 5, and 6. So 6 is a success.
Hey.
Sifting through the market, snatching the odd urchin by the collar and going, "Oh, what's happening here, then, boys?" And
What you find is there's actually quite a large percentage of these people have come over from Coleridge who look like they work for a living underground. Henry, you see him like chasing after a group of guys who are off to the loos. And they all start weeing up against the fence and stuff in the bushes. And he's lurking about there, listening to their conversation. When there's a hush from the crowd and 4 figures mount the A-frame. You did roll well, Henry, and you will be getting extra dice when it comes to the setup roll for that. So he's
when there's a moment's silence and one of the guys on stage is going to start speaking again.
Yeah.
I'm going to shout from quite close to the stage, "Let him go! He's right!" Give these guys a chance to see if that gathers anyone's attention.
Okay. Great. Yeah. Bricks, you are actually looking for members of the crowd that are perhaps less satisfied with it.
Surveying and hunting as we speak.
A hush comes over the crowd as the prisoner escort company climb the A-frame. First to ascend is a priest of the ecstasy of the flesh, the state religion, wrapped in rich purple and gold vestments. Then comes an official in a top hat carrying papers. Then, flanked by guards, the condemned man in manacles, taking the stairs one at a time. An executioner takes his place at the lever and adjusts his black hood. And finally, a spirit warden, here to ensure that the body is melted down electroplasmatically to prevent a revenant ghost. Familiar with Paul Goodman, you can see he has had special questioning techniques and now walks with a limp. Some effort has been made to hide the bruises on his face with pale makeup. This will later be reported in the Duskval Gazette as a womanly vanity on Goodman's part. The top-hatted official reads out a list of criminal charges. Encouraging the criminal classes to dissatisfaction, rabble-rousing, destruction of property, misuse of explosives, unwarranted redistribution of supplies and victuals. For this, he is to be hung by the neck until dead. The crowd cheer. Shuffling forward in bloodied manacles, Goodman looks as beaten as a carny donkey. Once he raises his head to speak, however, he has a naturally powerful voice and a piercing gaze. The young man gives a rousing speech concerning the plight of the workers of Coleridge, the terrible conditions of the miners forced to dig deeper and deeper without any regard to safety. No investment in technology makes the dangers lethal, and the people are treated like cogs. He foretells an upcoming tragedy that could be averted with investment. Cleverly appealing to the economic interests of the crowd, he blends sentiments of fraternity with the wisdom of returns on long-term investment. As he starts to garner sympathy with the crowd, the top-hatted official becomes more and more agitated. The official signals the band to start up with a popular tune, which drowns out the passionate pleas of Goodman, and the spell is broken. The fickle crowd becomes raucous and merry again. Goodman is shoved into position, and a noose wrapped around his head.
The executioner pulls the lift. Bang. Down at the crowd, starts doing his dance. Dance of death. You're close enough to see that his breeches fill up with and turn red with blood. He's dancing, his tongue swelling up blue, and his eyes are popping.
Fine.
No one's rushed forward no one's been allowed to rush forward and grab his legs and cause his neck to snap, hastening his death. And the crowd are kind of like watching with like greedily as he's trying to take his last breath. It takes longer than you'd think. He's a young lad with a lot of spirit and fight in him. So now we are going to do the setup. Are you going in light, medium, or heavy? When I say, I know I always say you look like thieves if you go in medium. What I kind of mean is, in a Western where someone walks into a bar and everybody kind of like looks at them, that's what I mean by medium. It's not that they've got swag written on their back and they're like in a stripy top going, they're, it's just that if someone says, did you see anybody suspicious? People will go, yeah, this guy, he was dressed like Esri, or you can go in light and just look like everyone else, or you can go in heavy and that's when you kind of definitely look like you're a robber on the make.
Well, for once, I'm on the right side of the law, so I'm going in the light.
You're going in light, okay?
Yeah, I'll go in.
Or Henry?
Henry's going in normal. Remember, light though, Marcus. We get to carry an extra item.
That's
so instead of 3, you've got 4 items. Yeah,
and that's concealed as well. You've got a concealed item somewhere that you can magic.
I'm sure Bricks gets that now that he's part of our game.
I've got things. What's a spirit bane charge for ghosts? Hunting pet, is that useful?
Could be. You don't have to worry about any actual single one thing right now. You're just how many ticks in the game you're going to have access to.
And so armor's 2 or 3 heavy. So that's all my 3 items. If I go in light, is heavy armor. What do you need heavy armor?
If you go in heavy, armor is 2. So armor would cost 2. If you wanted heavy armor, that's going to cost 5. That's 2 plus 3 more on top. Heavy armor is like you look like a tank, though. You look like a knight of old. That would be heavy armor.
Basically, I already look like I've got OCD. So going about heavy, like it's just like having extra biros in your pocket in it. So I reckon like maybe normal's all right for me.
Okay. And the good thing about these guys are this gang has got the skill of the gang skill that you've got an extra item somewhere secreted about your body. So weighs nothing, and it's hidden. It's classed as hidden as well. So if someone frisks you as you're going to see the gang boss, you can say, well, I'm going to use that extra item to pull out the gun that I've stuffed up my butt or something.
Yeah. That's a gang favourite as well. Well, we use daggers.
They just learned that at the shop, didn't they? Just like after hours.
Started with postcards, then pouring that.
Thursday's violation.
We sort of like scratch them with their arses.
Yeah, you learned to load the guns as well with your butts now.
That is disgusting.
And Henry, what were you going in as? Did you say, was that normal for you? You said
yeah. I'm going in normal. Yeah.
So now we do the engagement roll. What this roll does is it tells us how it all kicks off. Basically, if you get a high number, it means you start in a controlled situation. Like everybody's in the right place, everybody knows what's going on. If you roll badly in this, then it's like it's all gone to pot. Like some people are halfway across the park and stuff like that. So first, you get 1 dice because we have to roll 1 dice for the engagement roll. That's just the nature of rolling dice. So you have to have 1 of them. So the next one, Henry did good and was able to spot some likely looking lads. Esri, I liked your shout out. Let him go. Maybe you caught the glance of a young lady. We'll see what this dice turns up.
Hey.
Any more for any more?
Like what?
A spotter on the high ground.
All right, I'll give you an extra die for that spotter on the high ground. But I'm taking a die off because there's a massive crowd.
Okay.
Fair enough? Nope. So let's see what you're going to get.
You guys rolled well and start the engagement under controlled conditions. You shouted, "He's innocent!" and Alexandria turns to stare at you from under a hood. You share a moment of sympathy as you see the anguish in her soul blossoming, tears in her eyes. She starts pushing through the volume of people, gasping for air.
She's distraught and is running from the field. You can see she's pushed her way. She's pushing away 3 people with like tears streaming from her eyes.
So she's coming, trying to get away from the park then, looking for an exit.
Yeah, I'll put my hood up and start following her. It's a ruined city anyway, isn't it? There'll be loads of places to hide.
So I think it's a bit hot with all those heavy dudes in the crowd. Like, it might be a bit outnumbered a bit quick if you start stepping on this woman and she's like, here's number 2 and they got people as well. So I don't know. It might be good to see what goes on.
You're the bounty hunter. You're taking the lead on this. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're here to support you.
All right,
He's
I'm down like a cat, and I'm following. I've seen where she's gone with the spyglass. I'm sitting in the northwest corner wherever she's going. I know. I've checked the exits out beforehand. I kind of got an idea what's going on. You guys are closer. I can see you guys too, and we're kind of triangulate her to where she's going. What do you do? Crowd control as well, Henry. You keep an eye on the crowd. Make sure there's no funny business.
The idea. Do you know what I mean? Like swaying and sort of like nothing to see here, folks.
Mm.
You know, and I've got a couple of documents that I've got with me to ward a few people away. Do you know what I mean? So in my subterfuge supplies.
All right, let's talk about that when we actually get to it, eh?
Yeah.
So, Bricks, this is how we do it then. You say you're going to lead the action in hunting. And what that means is everybody rolls their hunt, yeah? But for everybody that fails, you get a stress.
All right.
But if one of you succeeds, everyone succeeds.
Oh, banging, yeah.
Yeah?
Yep.
And Henry, you've got to roll your hunt as well, that means.
Right.
If I've got two hunts, if I go...
Can I not do an assist using my foresight instead?
Ooh.
You can assist. You can assist him.
Yeah.
But you still, if you want to be part of it, you still have to roll your hunt.
Yeah, so I can do an assist, but it won't cost me a stress because I can do two assists per score.
3, yeah.
Yeah.
So you're going to get an extra pit in your hunt for this. But Henry, you have to roll your hunt as well. I know you probably haven't got any in hunt, have you?
No, I haven't.
That's going to be 2 dice and choose the lowest. And Bricks is going to roll 3 dice. Let's get the result on that, and then we'll get the result on what Esri's up to as well.
Okay.
Do we have to roll for this?
Yeah, you're going to Bricks. You've got 2 in hunt.
Yeah.
And Henry's
One
been
help.
kind enough to give you a hand as well, so you're going to get 3 dice.
Okay.
And choosing the best. Henry hasn't got any hunt, unfortunately, so he's going to roll 2 dice and choose the worst.
3 and 3, so both
1, 2, and a 4.
Okay, so the 4 saved your bacon. What did you get, Henry?
I got 3 and 3.
So Henry fails that, and that's reflected in that because you were leading the hunt, you get stressed out, Bricks. So you have to take a point of stress.
I can take it.
And we'll come back to that. Esri, what are you doing?
I'm following her, aren't I?
In the shadows, yeah?
Crowd. I don't want to be seen by anyone.
It's controlled. Standard.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Sweet. Oh, I fucked it right up. 1, 1, and 2.
All right.
Ah.
So I'm starting a clock with her, what would you call it? Like, what's her ability to escape? What would you call that? Slippery. Slippery.
Okay.
She's very slippery. She's got 8 segments on this clock that you're going to have to fill. You're sure when you shout it out, let him go, that you saw her turn around and look at you. She turns around and looks at you again, but you've got your hood up and looking all like well sus. Looking well suspicious, and she freezes, like something in her head goes click, and she starts sprinting.
She works through the crowded square onto the Canal boardwalk. The boardwalk is still thick with bodies, busy loading and unloading ships. Esri, you lose sight of her for a second, scanning the walkways. Suddenly, Henry points skyward, and you see her scrabbling up the rigging of a trading vessel.
I don't know, if we start letting off guns in this crowd, like how quickly are those blue jackets on stilts going to start picking us off and stuff?
Yeah, they're going to be on you, yeah.
It's
Oh,
gotta
yeah,
be Heidi,
They're
right?
going to be like flies on a pile of shit, mate. They're going to love it. So, we'll, all right.
Where does this rigging go as well? Like, what is it? Is it just up is there no way back off this, or does it go up to anything and there's other egresses?
So she's run out into the canal, and you can see them. Obviously, there's boats up and down this canal, pretty jammed, packed, all various kinds. This one's I don't know, Nick would know more about the actual name of the ships that are actually got sails and like rigging and stuff. As opposed
Yeah, they're simply called tall ships.
The night market waterways are clogged with tall ships from all over the Empire. There are also small boats and rafts weaving across the waterways, and a footbridge further up for those who don't want to get wet.
So Henry's knowledge on this is going to be pretty good, isn't it? You kind of had an idea of what would be moving where and where she might end up going, and what sort of traffic's going on there, and what rigging's like and stuff.
But Ezra's the man for this. He's a circus boy.
Oh, so you'd be up that fucking rigging like a rat.
I could get up the rigging, yeah, but what is rigging lent on anything, like a tower or anything, or is it just a ship?
The rigging,
so you got
the rigging will go up a ship. It'll go up a mast. It'll go across to another mast. But it'll all be contained on that one ship.
How about this? Well, a throwing knife would be a bit quiet. That wouldn't attract any attention. I don't want to like shiver or anything, but you could like put a warning shot into a mast next to her or something and command her. I've got this thing where I can do push myself to make a range attack of extreme distance. I could try and wig her out a little bit, put the threats on her.
That's the ideal time to use a skill like that. Really?
Wing a stiletto into the mast buyer and shout, "Oi!"
We just want to talk.
Right,
Next one's in your...
I mean, maybe Ezri's should get on up there first and see what he can. And then if she makes a move, you can plug her, can't you?
Yeah, use some charm on her, man.
Yeah, I get rushing up this rigging them in my light climbing gear.
Okay, then. So it's a risky standard normally, because it's a chase, but you're in light, aren't you?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to say controlled standard then.
I'm going to push myself.
Okay.
Using the devil's footsteps and using my light climbing gear. The idea being I just use a rope and grapple, swing it to the top of this mast. I'm just going to try and hoist myself up with one great leap. Yeah.
Okay.
I've got 2 6s and a 3.
Hey.
I changed my dice.
That was an amazing roll. That was a critical. So it goes up a level straight away from standard to great. So you filled in 3 of those pies straight away. Just with that one maneuver. Just as you're getting to the top of this rigging, you swing out using your trapeze skills that you've learned in the big top with one daring swing. Not only have you captured up some water and managed to swick back your hair in a stylish fashion, you've also swung and leapt like Errol Flynn.
Peter Pan style.
Yeah, she's on the other end because you kind of swung out across. You're at one end of that crossbar and she's at the other, out of breath, disbelief on her face. She bends down, picks up a rope, and then just drops off. And she swings out like that and swings straight across the river to another ship that's on the other side and into that rigging.
As she's swinging, I hit that rope with a blade.
Yeah, I was going to try the same thing, but you do it.
Go on then, bro.
Yeah?
Yeah, you can do that.
Oh, that's be hilarious.
The sharpshooter skill.
Yeah, you're going to need that to get the range on it because it's quite far, isn't it? So,
and it's a bit tenuous, really. How many do I throw?
So you have to push yourself, but that means you get an extra dice because you're pushing yourself. But it costs you 2 stress. So you tick.
All right, yeah. Fine. 2 stress. So 1 dice I get.
You get 1 dice just from that skill. You also get, whatever skill you're using to do it. So you're using hunt, you might be using finesse.
Oh, okay. So hunt's 2 dice, so I can have 3 dice.
Sure, but you have to describe it. Why you have to kind of justify why hunt is better than say skirmish or better.
It's going to be finesse, isn't it? It's going to
be
how
you describe it. Like someone might say they just flick out a knife like that and say it's skirmish, but someone else might go, "No, I was waiting for. I've been."
Yeah, I could see it coming a mile off. I could see it coming Yeah,
That might be hunt then, mightn't it?
okay, yeah. So with my knowledge of the movement of prey and hunted people, it was quite. I've watched people jump off rigging like all day. Like that's my job.
Just seen an amazing feat of rigging as well. So,
Kind of bored of it. Yeah. I even know the rope. So I think I was expecting it.
and you're using hunt then, yeah?
I'm using
okay,
hunt.
so this is a desperate maneuver though, which is good. It means as a desperate maneuver, you get an experience point. So tick experience points. You see those little flags that are next to, is it resolve and
Prowess and insight, yeah.
So because you're using hunt, a little tick on those flags. When they fill up, you get to fill in a spot so you can get better at hunting or better at, yeah?
Okay, and one, let's go. Yeah, is that 3 dice then?
3 dice, yeah. Wait. So it's pretty desperate maneuver, but it's going to be, well, it's desperate and standard at the moment. We'll see.
All right.
What you get?
Hey!
Yeah.
Was that 6?
6 and a pair of 5.
Okay, sweet.
I swapped my dice too.
Everybody knows the rule. Never go up when you're being chased. So you figure she must have some escape route planned. Your hand already has a dagger primed as she drops off the mast yardarm, giving Esri the finger. The impossible meeting of rope and steel is a true feat of dexterity. Rather than swinging in a graceful arc from mast to shore, she belly flops into the water with a thwack and goes under. She emerges on the wharf on the other side. She unclasps her hood and dumps a waterlogged cloak, shooting you a murderous glance, but you can see blood streaming from her nose as she turns and stumbles up the steps.
Oh shit, she's still slippery.
Yeah, so you've got another 2 sections on that pie. Because she's getting worn down now. She's like, panting, covered in water, smacked on the head, exhausted, still crying from having her boyfriend murdered in front of her. She's been through it a bit, but she's still like pegging off. You guys, unfortunately, are still on this side of the river though.
My hunting pet is a swimming animal, and it will rip in there and get her by the scruff of the neck and pull her over to the side.
She's already out of the water.
Ah, fuck.
Yeah, but although she's out of the water, I've already sort of like, I'd seen them lot going up in the rigging, etc., like him poising himself, waiting to see what was happening. Me, in the meantime, I was off down the street. I'm across the bridge.
Okay.
And I'm now jogging up the canal on the other side as she's coming up the stairs.
Sure. You've run off to get to the bridge. You're not at the bridge yet. All this happened like real fast. So you're kind of like just getting to near the bridge on this side at this point. All that swinging with ropes and stuff like that was a lot quicker than the distance to the bridge. What I meant by the bridge is it's possible to do it by land, but there are quicker methods like swimming or the rafters or, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, being in my heavies, I'm not going to go diving in the water.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Not if I can help it.
You're certainly on your way.
Yeah. I'm on my way, and with any joy, she'll be unaware of me crossing at the bridge.
She knew that rope was there. It was a setup as far as escape route.
I'm about to catch some ground on her though, even though she had that planned. I am an expert at this, and I've got my own rope, and I'm going to push myself again to do what she couldn't with my own climbing gear.
Throw it out and actually get the rigging across the way and like swing out using that distance.
That would mean losing my climbing gear after this roll, though, wouldn't it? Yeah.
For the rest of this score, at least, yeah.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. So that's what I'm going to attempt to do, so I don't lose sight of her.
And what's Brick's going to be up to?
I'm diving in that. Can I swim across that thing in any kind of reasonable fashion or not?
You can. If you'd chosen heavy, then I'd have said no. But chose normal, so you can swim across. But it's like it will be heavy going. That's all.
Or I could get some altitude. I could use my spyglass, and I could signal to Henry because he's on the foot, isn't he?
Problem is, across this canal is Coleridge. This is the canal that links the market, the night market, and Coleridge.
Lots of windy little, I'd miss her in the streets pretty quick.
So Coleridge, kind of like a massive slag heap, basically, covered in slums and given over to industrial, dark and satanic meals.
So my trained hunting weasel, she's out of the water now, but she's still got a scent on her. She still smells. So I'm going to see how far I can throw my weasel.
Shut your weasel.
I am going to. Yeah. I'm gonna fucking throw this weasel. See if it can keep a bead on her. I don't know what good that's going to do. Is that a good idea?
It's a good idea if it's managed to follow her while you're doing the slow swim across.
Yeah. So I'll sling the weasel and go for a swim.
All right. So you need to tick your weasel box.
That is brilliant. That's the best thing I've heard in this game yet.
Whose name I haven't decided yet.
It's a ramjet.
Fly, Roger, fly. We've got a little weasel catapult.
Got a little helmet on. We've got
cape. All right.
You send this little weasel off anyway.
Yeah. So he can be squeaking and keeping an eye. He'll stop at little corners.
You let your weasel fly most of the way, then it plops into the water, scurries up the bank support struts, and slips up the street after Alexandra. Esri can see the girl stagger over to a riverside tavern and is pleading with some burly patrons.
Yeah, they're not just guys, they're our mates, aren't they?
Esri snags a masked yard arm with his grapple and swings out over the water. You deftly land on the other bank and come out of your tucked landing roll to face 3 dock workers stomping towards you.
What's the situation on sort of like horses and things like that in this period?
There are horses. They are a species that did survive the cataclysm, but they're extremely expensive, and you'd be very posh to have a horse. Most people use goats for carriages, so they've bred a kind of like a large goat. A couple of them together will work just as well as a horse, as far as drawing a horse and carriage. But they've got a bad temper, and they're pretty like rude creatures, aren't they? There are coaches and things like that going past.
Look to sort of like get there as quickly as I can. Grab sort of like onto the back of a carriage, and then be able to sort of like step off it, sort of like when I'm almost on top of them, if you know what I mean.
And what are you using to do that?
Finesse.
So that's a desperate maneuver on your finesse, yeah?
Yeah, and I'm going to spend 2 points of stress here to give me the extra dice.
Okay. Don't forget to put a tick on your finesse block.
Get on that. 5 and 6. Boom.
Henry deftly jumps up on the running board of a hansom cab, stepping off with suave composure on the other side of the river.
All right, you guys carry on chasing her. I'll get the shit kicked out of me.
You can hear splashing behind you as Bricks is coming up, making his way. And you see a little ferret-like rat is leaving a wet streak across the street. There's already like between the legs of these guys. These guys are walking towards you. They've stopped on the side of the canal. I'm
going to drop kick one of them, aren't I?
Okay, go on then.
As I drop kick them, it's whether I actually hurt anyone is not really the intention. The actual intention is to get them fighting me to the side, so my companions can just run past.
Sure.
So I'm aiming to fly and kick them, but the truth is I'm trying to fly and kick between them to distract them, and then maybe run down an alley so they follow me.
Okay.
I'm going to use devil footsteps again and push myself again, and I'm going to try and confuse my enemies. Oh, fuck.
All right, mate. So you're going to get a level 2 injury Meanwhile, Bricks,
Am I still in the water?
you're just climbing out of the water now as you're seeing
So I can push my.
the crap beaten out of him by 3 guys. Your weasel, can only communicate so much. If you get involved in this fight, it's likely that you're not going to be able to follow them.
But I reckon I'm quick and I'm fucking good enough that I can and the crowd is big enough that I reckon I can probably. I wouldn't mind firing a shot past them, not even at them, and just.
Also, don't forget that Esri's already taken this stuff.
It's done, right? They're not going to keep filling him in, right?
Yeah. He's done for this scene, so not necessarily. It might seem a bit heartless, but there's not.
Right.
He's already had a kicking. Do you know what I mean?
So I'll pour some beer out on the way past as I whip him past.
Yeah.
This is Popeye.
Okay, so where's Henry as well? You're on top of this coach getting.
Yeah. I'm
He's
sort of like,
down. He's arriving about the same time as you are now.
And can we see her, or has the weasel got her?
The weasel is off up the street. You can see the weasel.
All right, sweet. Do you want to stick to the ground and I'll go high?
yeah.
Yeah. So I'll rip up the side of a building and across the roof and see if I can't get a bead on her.
Sure.
And signal to Henry as to which way that she's going. Try and keep up with her that way. It's going to be and push myself. I want to get up there quick, smart.
Basically, I think this is kind of a leading the hunt again, isn't it? This is kind of what you were doing before. So if Henry can roll as well, what that means is he'll be able to, as long as someone is successful, you'll both be able to catch up.
Okay.
Right.
Otherwise,
Toys out the pram.
you're going to be off and away while this old codger Henry is going to be like puffing up. So,
3.
I'm rolling 2 dice and picking the lowest.
yeah. Whereas you're rolling 3 dice and hope you get it.
Ah, fuck. 2 2s and 1.
Yeah?
2 2s and a 1.
2, 1, eek. What did you get, Henry?
5 and 5.
Woo!
Guys, I'm
There we
going
go.
to shoot. You update me as to how the game finished out. I've got work at 5 in the morning, so I'm going to shoot. Good luck, boys.
So, yeah, you've lost her.
Where's my weasel?
You're looking for your weasel. He's completely gone.
What the fuck?
Goddamn weasel.
I was leaving Greasy's fucking patch for me. What the fuck was the point of that fucking trained hunting pet?
You're like, oh, that weasel makes me sick.
Yeah, let's get another weasel.
Next time, get a stoat.
Yeah.
Great to a stone, mate. So much. So you didn't make it, so you get a point of stress. That's the rules. Everybody,
And also I get a point of stress because I had used some to roll an extra dice, did I?
yeah, you should have got 2 stress for that.
2, 3. Right.
You must be nearly at the top as well, right?
I've got 3 left.
So you're stressing out as well. You're thinking, where the hell's my weasel? Also, where's my paycheck?
She gone.
It's gone. You can't see her. She's gone. Damn it. Then Henry comes puffing up the road. He's looking about as well. He looks up at you and you're shaking your head down at him. You start scanning the streets, Henry. And you notice the road here has got bitumen cover. There's a grate, like a drainage grate in the side there. And you can see rather than hanging straight down, it's hanging at like 30 degrees. And it's wide enough for a person to slip down. As you walk over towards it, you can see that a wet kind of streak.
Yeah.
Of a weasel streak. And you go, why?
Yeah. Give you a whistle. And
Sweet.
You're down the side of a drain pipe across the street in no time. You're looking down at this grate.
All right, let's go.
You yank it open, splosh down into the dark water.
yeah, I'll procure my lantern.
Henry gets a lantern out from between his cloaks.
You drop down into the oily knee-high water with sludge underfoot. The tunnel is a junction of 4 other flood tunnels. You hear splashing of footsteps echo from every direction. Examining the water, you see a kaleidoscopic cloud of disturbed particulates blooms up from one of the tunnels and you follow it. The cloud dissipates as you come to a broken section of tunnel next to a crack in the brickwork wide enough to slip through. On a corroded pipe, you see a weasel sits preening itself.
Oh, yeah.
Looks up at you.
Right.
It scampers up your leg and disappears into your shirt. After another 30 feet of rough-hewn passage, you see Alexandria kneeling on the floor, illuminated by a pale pool of flame from her Zippo lighter. She is heaving a casket from a shallow hole. She snatches something from the box and spins to face you, Zippo lighter in one hand and a stick of dynamite in the other. I'll blow us all to hell. Her cheeks are streaked with tears and coal dust, and the flame in her hand is shaking with fatigue and emotion. I ain't ending up in no cage. She seems earnest in her threat. Henry, a quick mental calculation tells you the blast in this enclosed space has only one way to go, and that's the wrong way for you.
Yeah, straight back out of the hole. Yeah, I'll say, you've been running for bloody ages and I can't get hold of you to tell you, look, I've got a release paper for you. I'll procure an official looking document that says I was too late to get it to Paul Goodman, but the Noble Coal Reach Enterprise Company, they realise they've made a mistake.
Oh, you sly dog.
go for the old consort, convince her that they do agree with what's going on.
Well, they're going to make changes so that his life wasn't for nothing.
Yeah, I've got documents and in the dim lamplight plays to my advantage at the moment. And I'm going to put a bit of stress on here to try and make the roll. And I'll get an extra dice because I'm putting some stress on.
Yeah, it is pretty stressful as you approach her with this document in the gloom.
I'll get 1, 3, and a 5.
Hey. You did it. You do suffer a consequence, however, which can be like heart murmur or something like that. As you like really
arse murmur.
As you like this lie, all the lies of your life have caught up with you, and you can feel your heart like pumping, knowing that the closer you get to this explosive, it could well be the end of you. You feel your like pain start radiating down your arm, and like, and you think you might be having a heart attack as you approach her. So that is a level 2 harm. You can resist.
Level 2 harm.
Yeah, if you want to roll your resolve, you can try and resist that.
Okay, so how will that work then? So I've got
you count the pips on the left hand side of the that line on your resolve block. That's how much resolve you've got, and that's how many dice you roll, and you're gonna get stress equal to 6 minus the highest dice.
Okay.
Are you happy to do that? If you do,
I'll have a go at that.
The damage by 1 level, yeah? Okay, do it then.
Right, so so I've got 3 resolve.
Okay, good luck.
And I've got 2 4s and a 2. Yeah, so 2 stress and level 1 damage, yeah?
Which will be chest pain, basically. Severe chest pain.
Oh, my love, you want to be putting that letter right out.
Then you can see that she's intrigued by this.
So while she's intrigued,
exactly.
because I'm fucking stone cold. I'm a bounty hunter. I, even though she's got some sort of interesting backstory, and I'm sure she's like correct, and people aren't dogs and stuff. But I am like autistic, stone cold military guy, and I want my money. That second throwing knife just goes straight into her right brachial plexus and paralyzes that arm. Doesn't give her any bleeding death or anything, but does just wreck the shoulder. Okay. She'll drop that Zippo, and we're off to the bank.
Go for it then. Shall we make this a desperate maneuver as well? Because obviously, if you fail it,
I don't think that is desperate. I think she's intrigued, and I think I know what I'm up to. This is my bread and butter, definitely.
All right then. Okay, let's make it risky then.
All right, and this is going to be.
The thing with risky is you don't get any experience for it. That's why I like desperate maneuvers, because you get experience for doing desperate things. But
okay.
Yeah. Okay. Risky. Obviously, the good thing about risky is that if you muck this up, you're likely to get another chance while she scrabbles for the.
Or she'll watch me get aggressive and set fire to the thing and we'll all die. Yes, it is desperate and risky. No, it's just risky. It's not desperate. I know what I'm up to. Right. What?
All right. Go on then.
So I've got 2 dice. Or
What are
1
you
dice.
using for this?
It's not hunting, is it?
No, not really.
It's skirmish or finesse.
Skirmish, yeah. I reckon skirmish myself.
All right. So that's 1 dice, is it?
Yeah.
You get 1 dice. You can put a bit of stress on it though if you want.
He's only got like.
I've got 3 stress left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you could accept a devil's bargain. What's that all about?
Yeah.
Ooh.
So, yeah, you can accept a devil bargain. How about this? I'm happy to give you 1 heat. All this talk of explosives and revolutionaries is likely to make some people very interested in who's been involved and who's had contact with these undesirables. If you like, you can get an extra dice for 1 heat.
Might as well, otherwise we're all going to die, aren't we?
That is one way of looking at it, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So the crew gets a heat. I'll go for the assist here. Look, I think I'm having a bit of cardiac arrest. That's the only thing being arrested round here is me. So, yeah.
Go on,
There
then.
you go.
So you're going to get 3 dice out of this?
Wicked. Let's hope, eh?
Yeah, let's do it.
5, 6, and a 2.
Yeah.
Whee! Good boy.
Suddenly there's a dagger in her arm and the lights on the floor tumbling away from her.
Is it a nice lighter?
Just like bundle her as well. She's on the floor with you guys like kneeling on her back.
If I'm off the clock now, can I check her for drugs and stuff?
There is a lockbox. It's a revolutionary's cachet of explosives, a bag of silver, a brace of pistols wrapped in an oily rag. You reckon an extra 3 coins worth.
I think we should give some money to Eski's family.
Yeah.